Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice is directed by Zack Snyder, and it stars Ben Affleck, Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, and Jeremy Irons, just to name a few. This movie came out in 2016, the year of comic book heroes fighting against each other, so I'm going to be talking spoilers, so if you have not seen this movie yet, definitely go watch it, and definitely check out Man of Steel, which is actually the movie that came out before this movie. This movie is a sequel to Man of Steel, and check out my review for Man of Steel as well. It is a spoiler-filled review, as is this one, so if you have not seen either of these movies yet, definitely go watch them and my review for Man of Steel, because I'm going to be talking spoilers for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And like my Man of Steel review, I'm going to keep this one as simple as possible, talking about the good and the bad. And I'm going to dive right into the good with the casting. I thought the casting was, again, brilliant. Henry Cavill returning as Superman, Amy Adams returning as Lois Lane. Jesse Eisenberg, he was just okay. I'll get to him in my negatives. Ben Affleck as Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, or the other way around, however you see it. I thought he was actually a really good choice. You know, we were all worried, me included, when we heard that Ben Affleck was going to be Batman, because we had seen Daredevil, and to be honest, it wasn't good. And when you think about it, Daredevil, the character Daredevil, should really be called Batman, and that's a whole other thing that I could get into, because he's blind, he uses sonar, like a bat. So again, that's a topic for an entirely different video if you really want to get into that. But I thought the casting of Ben Affleck as Batman was brilliant. He pulls off the Bruce Wayne and Batman really well, and I just thought it was really well done. Jeremy Irons as Alfred was a good choice. He's a good old man who he plays a good butler, and he can kind of give Bruce Wayne some crap while helping him at the same time. Gal Gadot makes her first appearance in this movie as Wonder Woman, Diana Prince, and she was obviously a perfect choice for this role. I thought, you know, she's gorgeous and she's tough looking at the same time. So yeah, Gal Gadot, perfect choice for Wonder Woman. Another great thing about this movie is the fact that it stays consistent with Man of Steel in terms of tone. It stays serious. It doesn't try to be more fun. It doesn't try to pull off jokes in the action scenes. It lets the tone be serious. And that is what I admire about the DC movies is, you know, they're like, you know, Marvel can do its thing, have fun, be all colorful, crack jokes during the action scenes, but DC was like, no, you know what, we're going to make this serious because these are serious implications, you know. It's Batman versus Superman. These are two heroes that everyone knows, and they have to fight each other? I don't like the whole instigation of the fight. The action scenes in this movie are pretty incredible. The best being the warehouse fight scene with Batman when he goes to save Superman's mother, Martha. That scene is so incredible. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, if the movie's like this is going to be freaking amazing. Because there was a lot in that trailer that they didn't show. Well, maybe not a lot, but some that they didn't show. And my goodness, that scene is so cool. This is not the Christopher Nolan Batman. He's okay to kill people, you know? And that's what I like about this Batman is he's willing to do what has to be done to get the job done and save the right people. And yeah, while people might argue that, you know, it's too melodramatic, it's too sad looking and sounding, that's what I love about this movie is it is serious and they treat it seriously and it's good. Also, the fight scene between Batman and Superman is pretty awesome. It's epic to see these big characters, Batman and Superman, fighting against each other, and Batman using his knowledge and his just creativity to beat him, not necessarily his strength, because he knows that Superman could break him with a flick of his pinky. You know, just really simply. And, you know, he figures out how to defeat him. And he actually does defeat Superman. He was literally seconds away from killing him. But, you know, Lois Lane comes in and saves him. And the whole Martha scene, which I'll get to, again, in my negatives. And the introduction of Wonder Woman was incredible. The music cues that bring her in. Oh my gosh. When I first heard that, I was like, what? This is awesome. Like, oh man, that scene when she comes in was so cool. And I loved seeing them three work together. And it's like, oh man, Justice League is going to be sweet. And I still think it's going to be sweet. It comes out this week. Gonna go see it Thursday. I'm excited. I did really appreciate the boldness that they had to actually kill off Superman at the end of this movie. Granted, they kind of hint at his return, and it's Superman. Justice League hasn't come out yet. He's gonna return. They can't have a Justice League movie, or at least a second Justice League movie, without a Superman in the fold. So, you know, Superman's not actually dead. He's gonna come back, and they hint at that at the end with his funeral. You see the dust particles kind of lifting up. It's like, okay, he's still alive. I don't think they should have showed that, but we kind of all knew that it was going to happen anyway. Again, the music in this movie is pretty darn good. We get the return of similar themes from Man of Steel and some newer themes. It's cool. It works really well. And unfortunately, that is all the good things that I have to say about this movie. There are some negatives that I want to get into. Jesse Eisenberg being cast as Lex Luthor, I thought was not a good decision. He does good at playing himself, and that's all. Lex Luthor is Jesse Eisenberg. It's not Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor. And that's a terrible thing to happen in a movie. Because Lex Luthor is supposed to be a mastermind villain. You know, he outsmarts Superman almost all the time. I mean, Superman overpowers him and sometimes outsmarts him in the end, but at the beginning of the fight scene or the action scenes, it's always Lex Luthor has a leg up, and he outsmarts him at the beginning again. He's mentally unstable, and it's like, how are people around him, his like board members, okay with this? And he's clearly mentally unstable, and you're letting him run a company still, and I don't get it. But I guess if you have that much money, it's like, whatever, let him be. So as I mentioned in that Batman v Superman fight scene, the Martha scene, oh my gosh, that was awful. Yes, we get it. Superman's mother is Martha. Batman's mother is Martha. And I got to sidetrack right quick. Lauren Cohan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan playing Bruce Wayne's parents, them being in The Walking Dead, just it throws you for a loop if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. You're like, what is going on? That's Negan and Maggie. What? Outside of that, I thought it was okay. I mean, they worked for their roles. They didn't really do much except for get shot. But the whole Martha thing, how that is what saves Superman from being killed by Batman, because why did you say that name? Oh, it's so stupid. It was some of the most lazy writing that I have seen lately in that big of a budget of a movie. It's sad, really. Now, Doomsday was cool. He's a villain that kind of is just brought in at the last minute to give Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman something to fight against together. So he was just okay. He's basically just an abomination form of General Zod brought back to life, mixed with Lex Luthor's blood or something. It was weird, and I don't like it. But you know what? His character worked for what it was, but the twist of it was ruined in the trailer, and that's my problem with trailers. I love watching trailers. I could watch trailers all day, every day, but they do ruin movies, and in this case, they did ruin the big villain in this movie, and that's okay. But you know, when the whole premise of the movie is supposed to be Batman versus Superman, you can't ruin that surprise. Another big negative that I have for this movie is it is too much about Lois Lane. Way too much of her trying to figure out. It got way too complicated, and it should have just been a simpler story and more focused on the Batman versus Superman instead of, hey, Lois Lane's got to figure all this stuff out and prove Superman's innocence of killing people. And I have the ultimate cut, so it's very long. It's sitting right back there. It's over 3 hours long, I think, and you feel like it's over 3 hours long. Okay, the Fellowship of the Ring and all the other Lord of the Rings movies, they're long, but they don't feel as long as this one does. And that's unfortunate because a lot of this movie is about Lois Lane, especially in the Ultimate Edition, where she's figuring stuff out and doing her reporter stuff, and it's not exciting. And for a comic book movie to focus primarily on a reporter, doesn't work so well. Another negative for this movie is there are too many dream sequences in this movie. Sometimes there's like a dream within a dream. We're going Inception route here. Yes, I know Christopher Nolan had a producer credit, I think, on this movie. I know he did for Man of Steel. I think he did for this movie as well. But come on. Too many dream sequences. The Flash comes in one telling Bruce, like, you're right about him. Lois is the key and all this other stuff. It's like, I didn't like that stuff. It was weird. However, I did like the dream sequence of Batman being chained up in that like desert, whatever is going on. You see the parademons, I think they're called, which we will see more of in Justice League. And then Superman's like evil and he kills two guys before killing Batman in his dream. I did like that dream sequence, but again, it being a dream sequence, you see it in the trailers, you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be awesome, and it's a dream sequence. Which was a little disappointing. Now, my biggest negative for this movie is the way too heavy-handed introduction of all the other Justice League members. Yes, the title is Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice, being Justice League. They forced it. Wonder Woman was a bit more organic, and that was fine. But the way that they introduced Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, primarily the files that Diana Prince looks at that shows her who these people are. Who has files like that? They have their own logos. The Flash's logo is on his folder. Aquaman's logo is on his folder. Cyborg's logo is on his folder. Nobody does that. You can't do that. That was so stupid. And their little video clips, they're okay, but then when you get to Aquaman's, it's dumb. He looks like he's holding his breath and he's moving really slow in the water. It's like, this character is supposed to be cool in Justice League. I don't see it happening. Jason Momoa, he's a cool guy. He's a cool looking guy. I've never seen Game of Thrones. I have never seen Conan the Barbarian. I started it, but I didn't finish it. But he's a cool guy, apparently, and they're ruining him in this little teaser of this character in this movie, and I did not like that way too heavy-handed introduction of all those characters. After seeing this movie, I was just like, they're rushing to catch up with Marvel and just rushing to get to Justice League, that they're not letting each character have their own movie and let us get to know these characters before they throw them all together. They're just gonna rush into it, and that's what they've done, unfortunately. I think it still could work under the right writing and direction, but we're going to have to wait and see how Justice League does this week. So you think you're a movie buff? Well, I challenge you to download this game called Popcorn Trivia. It's a movie trivia app that you can download for free on your Android or Apple device. You can choose from hundreds of movies, play single player or multiplayer against people around the world, and you can customize your own avatar to make it look however you want. This game is a lot of fun. In fact, I challenged myself to the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice quiz, and I only got a 256. Granted, that was a couple weeks ago before seeing the movie again, so definitely go check out this game, download it, take the Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice quiz, and let me know if you can beat my score of 256. Also in this game, on New Movie Friday, they release a couple movies from the theater, including a regular old movie and sometimes even a TV show, to the list of quizzes that you can choose to take. It's a lot of fun, guys. Definitely check it out. It's called Popcorn Trivia, and test your movie knowledge. Now overall, I still really did enjoy this movie. It's cool, it's got action, it does tell a decent story. I hate the reasoning for them to team up because their moms have the same name. That was stupid. Too much about Lois Lane, but overall, I still kind of enjoy this movie. But there are some big negatives like Jesse Eisenberg who just totally tear this movie apart. And I gotta give Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice a B. I really wanted it to be better, and I did struggle giving it a B. I wanted to give it a higher grade, but I gotta give it a B because it just doesn't quite live up to what you expect. And it's hard to compare it to Captain America Civil War because that is one of my favorite comic book movies. They did come out the same year, but it's kind of unfair to compare it to that. But they do have kind of the same concept, and this one just didn't pull it off quite as well. So what did you guys think of Batman v Superman? Did you like it, love it, or hate it? Let me know in the comments below. Justice League comes out this week. I'm excited to go see it. We got our tickets. We're going to go see it Thursday night. Hopefully get a live review up because I have a wedding shoot all day Friday, so I won't be able to do a spoiler-free review then. Maybe Saturday. We will see how it all turns out. Definitely looking forward to that movie, guys. I'm super excited. Can't wait. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a big old thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and make sure you hit that bell icon next to the subscribe button so you can be notified of when we upload new content. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.